Hello there. Thank you so much for joining us. This is News Channel Nebraska. My name is Eric McKay. Let's take a look at our top headlines today. Beginning with an uncertain future for a Nebraska town after its biggest employer revealed plans to shut down. Peter Rice has more from Lexington.
Shock is still settling in for residents in the city of Lexington following Friday's announcement that Tyson will be shutting down its beef processing plant on or about January 20th. The plant has been here for so long that many residents consider it a part of the community and now are left scrambling to find answers. The closure affects a large portion of residents, as nearly 3,200 people are employed at the plant, according to Reuters, in a city of just over 11,000 people. Some residents who grew up in Lexington say the plant has been a central part of their lives for as long as they can remember.
Both my parents worked there. My dad still works there. It was a huge impact, obviously, on all of us, as the city as well. My dad's been working there for almost 27 years, and so hearing the news was pretty big deal, you know, kind of saddening because he was getting close to a retirement age, and he's just like, wow, all these years they're gonna do that to us. So it's sad. It's really sad.
Those in the community believe the effect of the closure will ripple through the city, affecting local businesses, schools, and families.
We need those jobs. If Tyson closes permanently, it's not only going to affect the people who work in there, but also people in the community and other towns around us. Then, those restaurants that are thriving because people go eat there, and now they're also going to be affected.
Locals are left hoping for a buyer or some last-minute solution to keep families in the only home they've ever known, as the city braces for a challenging transition.
Like my family's talking about, well, we're going to have to relocate, move states, or we may even lose our house. So it's just very close to home. It's too close to home. And it's every family member. You go out in the street, and it's literally every person you may see is impacted by Tyson one way or another.
Residents say Lexington is resilient, but the coming weeks and months will be a critical test for the city and its businesses. From Lexington, Peter Rice, News Channel Nebraska.
The war in Ukraine could be at a critical juncture. U.S. and Ukrainian officials say they're refining a ceasefire plan that stemmed from earlier talks between the U.S. and Russia. Negotiators sound optimistic that they could be taking a step toward ending the war. Amy Kiley has the latest.
It is probably the most productive day we have had on this issue, maybe in the entirety of our engagement.
U.S. and Ukrainian officials say they're making substantial progress with ceasefire talks. That's after they met in Geneva, Switzerland yesterday.
Дипломатія активізована. Це добре.
Diplomacy has been activated, which is good, very good. We expect that the results will be the right steps.
The negotiators are working off President Donald Trump's 28-point ceasefire plan. It stems from U.S. talks with Russia. Bipartisan critics say the original favored that country too much. Now, Secretary of State Marco Rubio says U.S. and Ukrainian negotiators have been modifying the plan. He says the remaining issues are, quote, not insurmountable. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky appears to share Rubio's optimism. He says Trump's team appeared to be listening.
The first priority is reliable peace, guaranteed security, respect for our people, respect for everyone who gave their lives defending Ukraine from Russian aggression.
In a statement, U.S. and Ukrainian officials say they're working toward, quote, aligning positions and identifying clear next steps. At some point, those steps have to involve Russia once again.
Like any final agreement, they'll have to be agreed upon by the presidents. And there are a couple issues that we need to continue to work on.
Amy Kiley reporting, News Channel Nebraska.
Closer to home, 2 people are dead after a crash in eastern Nebraska Sunday. It happened along Highway 77 near the town of Ceresco, about 20 miles south of Wahoo. The Saunders County Sheriff's Office says a motorcycle driven by 65-year-old Daniel Gaunt of St. Edward with his passenger Helen Rosso was northbound when a pickup truck pulled out in front of them. The motorcycle crashed into the passenger side of the truck. Both Gaunt and Rosso were declared dead at the scene. The driver of the pickup wasn't injured. No word yet on any citations. Burning bales of hay stopped traffic in both directions of Highway 79 in eastern Nebraska Sunday. Crews were called to the scene south of North Bend for hay bales burning on the north side of the road. Firefighters ended up spreading them out onto the road to make them easier to put out. That blocked traffic, though. No word on a cause as of yet. The highway reopened after about 2 hours. In southeast Nebraska, the city of Wymore has gone without a police chief for months now. The city's now finding creative ways to try to make the position more appealing. How about an extra $15,000 added to the contract? That's what Wymore's considering. They say that might be enough to generate more applications to fill the vacant chief of police position. Wymore's mayor, Colin Mintz, says they've received hardly any applications over the last few weeks. The proposal was presented by the police board last week and largely well received by the city council.
Hoped that little extra payment would encourage more applicants, since we're not getting very few applicants at this point to fill our position.
Before the council can approve the plan, they say they need more details as to when that $15,000 would be paid out, either as an upfront signing bonus or spread throughout the duration of the contract. The board says they'll solidify the pay schedule and present an updated proposal to the city later this year. Access to quality child care is a chief concern across Nebraska. That's even more true in the more rural parts of the state. To try to develop some solutions to those challenges, this week a statewide organization is joining forces with a small daycare in southeast Nebraska. Tim Hackett has more.
We have Class A schools and we have Class D schools, and it feels like right now we're all playing in the same state tournament.
Hiring and retaining quality staff, plus enrolling enough kids for that staff to work with. Slogging through the regulations required to get the doors of a daycare open, plus generating enough income to keep those doors open. Those are just some of the challenges that child care centers of all sizes are facing, but they're affecting operations in rural Nebraska even more acutely, especially when they feel they're not on the same playing field as similar centers in larger parts of the state.
We're having to be held to the same regulations and standards as centers that can have 50, 60, 70, up to 100 and some kids, when we really in our community only need a center that can have 25 to 30 kids max.
To bridge that gap, Sweet Peas Academy in Diller played host this week to leadership from Nebraska's Department of Health and Human Services, including CEO Steve Corsi, alongside representatives from both local and state government. Together, the group worked to generate some solutions that Corsi pledged to take back up Highway 77 to Lincoln.
I was behind the wheel of a tractor, a swather, cutting hay and baling, and, right at 12 and 13. You could put a 16-year-old in the combine. Why can't you put him out there?
Sweet Peas will be celebrating its one-year anniversary next month, but getting to that point has not come without challenges. It'll take some time to solve some of the deep-seated issues in this field, but the hope is that this small daycare in Diller can help set a standard for other child care centers of its size across the states.
I'm hoping that we can kind of create more common sense rules that still keep kids safe and happy, still keep our staff paid well, and help rural child care centers be able to thrive.
In Diller, Tim Hackett, News Channel, Nebraska.
The YMCA in Norfolk celebrating families of adoption over the weekend. Sarah McKenna has more.
The Saturday before Thanksgiving is National Adoption Day, and Norfolk is celebrating with a science-filled day. Nebraska Children's Home partners with local organizations to bring adoption families together.
The families enjoy connecting with other families when they're here. It's a wonderful and healthy thing for the children who are adopted to get to see other kids who have been adopted and kind of get to see that adopted kids are the same as any other kids.
This year's theme was science, and Dr. Oxygen was in attendance, giving the families a show with dry ice, bubbles, and learning. The event is for families that have been built from adoption. Being in its 17th year, there is many kids that have grown up coming.
So it's fun to see those children that we remember from when they were really little and now they're teenagers, and you know, it's just been a fun event every year.
Nebraska Children's Home gives children and families resources when going through adoption. The event also features a bouncy house, balloon animals, and kids were able to use all the facilities the YMCA has. In Norfolk, Sarah McKenna, News Channel, Nebraska.
A Panhandle movie theater is under new management and offering new options for attendees. The Fox Theater in Sydney announced over the weekend that Dennis Cheatham has been named the new general manager. He's been working for the Fox since 2018. Cheatham trying to hit the ground running. He says the theater planning multiple events over the next month, including Christmas matinees and a free screening of Sydney's Class C1 football championship game against Wahoo tomorrow. They've also added a component for gamers with a gaming console connected to one of their projectors. The previous general manager, Kim Phillips, and her husband, John, had managed the theater for 3 decades, but John passed away last month. And Kim tells News Channel Nebraska she still plans to be active with the theater's operation going forward. Residents in southeast Nebraska gathered at the Gage County Courthouse to continue an annual holiday tradition yesterday. The Gage County Courthouse lit for the 37th time for the holiday season last night. The night included performances by the Homestead Harmonizers, visits from Santa Claus and the Grinch, and former KWBE news director and NCN reporter Doug Kennedy was Santa's helper, serving as the honorary lighter of the courthouse. The first year of lights only featured the very top of the courthouse, outlined with lights. Since then, more lights have been added onto the building and to the trees on the courthouse lawn. The lights will remain on each evening over the holidays. And as a reminder, you can stay up to date with the very latest by following us online. Head to newschannelnebraska.com, click on the News tab there. You can also follow us on X, like us on Facebook and Instagram as well. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day. This is News Channel Nebraska.